Hey everybody, what's going on? We're back in the garage today doing some work. I have got a new 4L80 crossmember to install. I also have a new drive shaft hoop to put in, and we're going to do the engine crossmember. I don't know what they exactly call that. There's a crossmember that goes underneath the engine, and I've got a new version of that, I guess you could call it. I got all this stuff from DTR Fab. A friend of mine actually is the face and owner of that. He builds all these by hand. I got a chance to go pick these things up, and I got to watch him build them, and it's really cool. I mean, one-man show, one-man operation, but he does it in his spare time after work, and I'll get some information, some links up to that, so you can go check him out and support him. Anyway, I'll show you what we got going on. All right, so here is the drive shaft hoop that we're going to put in. The original one I have kind of bolts to the transmission mount and is just centered up, so it doesn't actually, can kind of twist on you a little bit. But this is the new one. It goes from one side of the engine, or one side of the truck frame to the other. Here's the frame that goes under the crossmember piece that goes underneath the engine. We're going to pull the old one out and throw this in here. A little bit lighter piece. I like the looks of it, and we're going to try it out. And here is the new 4L80 crossmember. Yes, I do have a 4L80 crossmember in this truck already, originally from DTR, but this is his new version, so we're going to give it a look-see, and I'm going to weigh all this stuff to kind of find the difference of how much it weighs. Unfortunately, since I do have an aftermarket transmission crossmember, not going to be able to compare aftermarket to stock, but we will, just for the fun of it, check out the weights of the different ones. I'll get some weight savings difference between the factory engine cradle crossmember and the new one. I know there's quite a bit of weight savings, which is going to help because of the turbo and the downpipe and all the stuff the turbo brings into it, and also the intercoolers and stuff up front. But anyway, we'll get that checked out and we'll get some numbers, and I'm going to get started putting this stuff together, so stick around. All right, so as you can see, here's the original crossmember that Tyler made, and it's got the drive shaft hoop right here. It just bolts in the center. Get the dude to focus. Bolts in the center right there, comes out, drive shaft loop. Basically, pretty simple stuff. But anyway, we're going to lift the transmission up, break our bolts loose here and on the other side, drop this out of place, and get the new one in. And then, to be honest with you, I'm not real sure where we're going to mount the new transmission crossmember. I've got my exhaust sitting right up here, kind of floating around right there. Got that cut out, so I'm actually in the process of redoing some exhaust, so this whole thing may come out anyway. Probably a good idea, and then build around it. So anyway, everybody, I'm fixing to get started. New cross members installed. Now we turn our attention to putting the new drive shaft hoop in. Alright, on this drive shaft hoop there is a long and short side. And I can't remember which side goes where, but I'm going to get this installed and I will inform you as soon as it's installed of which side goes where, so hold tight. New race is in. All right, so we've got the new transmission cross member in, we've got the new drive shaft hoop in, and we've also got the new engine cradle cross member installed. I was going to tell you which side needed to be on which direction for the drive shaft hoop, because like I said, one side was a little shorter than the other one. Anyway, I'll go ahead and do that now. So right here, this is your drive shaft loop. The passenger side is 13 and roughly 13 and a quarter. The driver's side is about 16 and a quarter. So as you can see, front of the engine, passenger side gets the shorter run of tubing, and longer side goes on the driver's side. So since we're here, here's our weight difference. This is what was all on the truck. The current 4L80 crossmember was 8.2 pounds. The drive shaft hoop that was on there was 5.4 pounds, and the factory engine crossmember was 13 pounds. Now, what you'll see in that video is there's two cross braces that go across. I didn't take those into account. They don't weigh very much. I ended up stripping the bolt on the driver's side, so that's gonna have to get cut off and removed, but it's all done. Here's the difference. The new 4L80 mount is actually about half a pound lighter. The current drive shaft hoop that was in there that was bolted to the old crossmember, a little bit heavier at a pound. And the engine crossmember, I weighed it, but I'm using a bathroom scale, so it doesn't work very well. So I didn't get a good reading on that, but I think this thing weighs a couple of pounds. It's a lot less than the drive shaft hoop and the 4L80 crossmember. I'll talk to Tyler and see if he's got a better measurement. But there's definitely a huge savings between there. I'd say at least 10 pounds there. But all in all, you know, I've shaved off, you know, I think it's between the two hoop and that, you know, broke even on that. But like I said, the factory transmission mount's probably a whole lot heavier than 7 pounds or even 8 pounds. But anyway, I think Tyler has all this information. I'll talk to him and try to get the actual numbers, and I'll post those up. But anyway, wanted to show you when pulling the engine K-member off, crossmember off, keep calling it K-member. Here and here, there are two bolts that mount their 15 millimeter head bolts, and after you get the two cross bolts off on both sides, you'll get a pry bar and try to get it off, and you'll realize that something else is there. That's there, that's there. They catch them through those holes right there, and that's how you get that dude off. But anyway, they're all installed, they're all in place. I painted them red so they look good. So anyway, I've got some more exhaust stuff to be building to finish up the downpipe on the turbo. Here's the old exhaust that I had built. This was before I cared to fabricate much, so it's just a straight piece of pipe. But I am going to be redoing this and tucking it up and making it look nice. Here's the old drive shaft hoop and the old 4L80 crossmember. So anyway, all that stuff's out. But guys, this is not a hard project. It's just swapping in and swapping out some parts. You don't have to cut or modify anything. It's just everything unbolts and then bolts back in place. So this can be done in a weekend. Honestly, between filming all this and stopping and watching TV and stuff like that, you know, I think I have a couple hours in this. If I would have just gone straight through, this is something you can do in probably less than 2 hours if you just get to hoofing it. But anyway, do the three things: comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. And anyway, I'm gonna go finish all this stuff up, and I'll get some good valid information for Tyler's website, how to get a hold of him. And anyway, go check out his gear. And you know, like I said, made here in Oklahoma by him by hand. So support your fellow racers. Y'all guys have a good one. We'll catch y'all later. See ya.